Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing well today. My name is Jess. Thank you for joining me on this vlog. We're going to be doing some bookish things like unhauling books, hauling some special edition books that I've gotten recently, and going to little free libraries and doing some book drop-offs. I just haven't been doing a lot of vlogging in terms of my current reads or the books I've been reading recently. So I actually had a vlog intro filmed for this already, and then I decided I'm gonna scrap it just because the books I was talking about then, I haven't talked about at all since then. So I'm just gonna give myself a fresh slate, but I'm just going to be approaching this vlog as more of a bookish vlog in general rather than a specifically like reading vlog. So now I'm going to cut to me from like 30 minutes ago when I was filming the unhauling section of this video. Okay, bye. Hi, so I have a stack of books next to me that I've been meaning to do a little book unhaul, and I've been collecting them over the period of probably a couple months. Just books that I didn't really resonate with or didn't like or whatever reason I'm unhauling them. Mango just went into the club. So here is the unhaul pile. It's quite a stack. I've been planning to go and drop these off at a little free library, or probably a few little free libraries, let's be real. One of them I have listed for sale on Pango, but the rest of them are gonna go to little free libraries. So I just need to do that at some point. Maybe I'll bring you guys along for that in this vlog. So let's get into the books, starting with The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I tried reading this, I started reading it. I didn't get that far, but I just could not get into the writing style, and the story was really slow to start. I think that classics a lot of the time just aren't for me. 1959, it's not even that old. I just had a hard time with this writing style. I don't know what it was about it. I've read We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, and I really liked that one. It wasn't difficult at all for me to get into. So I think it's just the writing with this one, because I really enjoyed that one. This is something that I thrifted. I got it for like $2. I'm not super broken up about not reading it. It's just something that I was like, oh, it's not on my TBR, but maybe I'll give it a try. And suffice to say, it wasn't really for me, but I'm sure it'll be great for somebody, so that's okay. Next on the pile is The Record of a Spaceborne Few by Becky Chambers. If you watched one of my recent wrap-ups or vlogs where I read this one, oh, actually, it was my Bewitch or Ditch episode 1, which is my Read It or Unhaul It series I just started. So this one was something that I read in that video, and unfortunately, I didn't like this one at all. I DNF'd it around 80%, so I got most of the way through this. I just couldn't go the last 20%. It's a bummer because I love this series. I have the other 3 books on my shelf still, and I adore them, but this one was just a miss. Something about the narrative style, there was way too many POVs. I think that because there were so many POVs, it just detracted a lot from the character development of any particular character. There were just too many and it was spread too thin. And I think that there were some POVs that could have totally been cut. And I think in my video I talked about probably 2 or 3 of the POVs that could have gotten cut from this. Unfortunately, this one was just a miss for me, and it's just the fluke of the Wayfarer series. I think the other 3 are fantastic. Where Did the Sun Go? But I didn't love this one, so I'm gonna pass it along to A New Home. The next book is one that I really did like. It's just that I have a duplicate. So that is Witch Hat Atelier Volume 1. I got this from like Barnes & Noble. I picked it up and I really enjoyed it. So then I wanted to get volumes 2 through 5 or the next few volumes so that I could read, you know, more of the series. And I found someone selling volume 1 through 5 on Pango. So I just bought that set, and that's what I have on my shelf right now. This is the Barnes & Noble one that I bought. The reason I'm unhauling this one and not the other volume 1 is because when I bought it, it's hard to see, but it had this like slice. It looks like it was probably a box cutter or something because it's like perfectly straight. That didn't bother me at the time when I bought it, but since I have 2 volume 1s now, I figured I would keep the undamaged one. So I'm gonna put this one in the little free library. It's super minimal damage though. It's not gonna bother anybody, I don't think. But I really did enjoy this one. It's such a cute manga series, so if you like manga and you haven't tried this, very cute, very innocent and witchy and friendships and all that good stuff. Okay, so the next one is another Becky Chambers, and that is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. This is also one that I read in my Bewitch or Ditch episode 1 video, and again, this was one that did not work for me. I did finish the whole thing. It wasn't like I hated it or anything like that. It just was really disappointing. I think I might have given it like a 2.5 or maybe a 2. I don't remember at the time, but I just didn't resonate with this one because I feel like it was lacking a lot of the heart and emotional depth that, for example, Monk and Robot by Becky Chambers or the Wayfarer series by Becky Chambers had. And so this one was just kind of something I went into with a little bit of high expectations because of some people I follow who really loved it, but it just didn't work with me, unfortunately. But I was just gonna pass it along to somebody else. I am leaving my annotations and my tabs in it. I always annotate on transparent sticky notes, so if they want to take them off, they can, but I figured I would just leave them in there. I think some people probably like seeing people's annotations. I don't know, I just figured I would leave them in there. So that was To Be Taught If Fortunate, and the next one is one that I did like, but I'm just passing it along because I don't really think I'm gonna reread it, and that is is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is a memoir, and I did enjoy it, and I think I took a lot out of it. It's just that I don't really think I'm going to reread it. This is one that I thrifted, so I'm happy about putting it back into the little free library system, because I think that people who are young and going through some of the same things that George went through in their life, it may help them a lot more than it would help by just sitting on my shelves. This was just one that I saw at the thrift store, and I was really drawn by it, and I'm glad that I read it, but I think it'll do more good to somebody else. So this is why I'm passing on this one. Sorry, I just moved you because I was very off center for most of that. So these next few are books that I have read recently, mostly in October and some of them in November. So the next book is M is for Monster, which I covered in my October wrap up. This one was fine. It was just a little bit disappointing. I think that it has really beautiful art. The art is really what drew me in to this, and I definitely want to look into more by this illustrator because she did a really amazing job. But this one was just a little bit of a disappointment for me, just because I was expecting more, again, of like an emotional punch to it or just emotional message. But it was still a cute story, and I think that if you enjoy Frankenstein inspired stories, this one might be for you. But it's more about sisterhood and about identity. In a lot of ways it is similar to Frankenstein in some of the themes, because it covers identity and finding your meaning or your purpose, or contending with not knowing who you are or what you were put here to do. So I think that that could be interesting if you enjoy that. But this one was just like okay for me. I don't really think I want to hold on to it, so that's gonna be sent away. Okay, this next one I know is a little bit contentious, but that is Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wong. So this is another one that I talked about in my October wrap up, and this one was definitely a letdown for me, and I know that I am very much in the minority on this because a lot of people loved it. I will say that there's a lot in here to love, but for a lot of reasons it just rubbed me the wrong way or didn't really give me what I was hoping for or wanting out of it. But this is one that I know so many people do love. So this is my broken binding edition. It is gorgeous. I just put it on my Pango a few days ago, so I'm hoping that someone will buy it because I want to get a little bit of my money back. I'm not going to go into too much about this one just because I talked at length about it in my October wrap up, so if you're interested you can go watch that. This next one is also a special edition, but I don't think I'm going to be listing it for sale just because there's a lot of them out there and there's not as much interest in it. That is Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright, and this is the Illumicrate edition, which, I mean, hang on, let me take off the dust jacket because it is really gorgeous. Like, I mean, just look at this edition. She's just phenomenal. And unfortunately, I did not love this. I actually was really disappointed in this. This is one that I read in this month, so I haven't talked about it anywhere yet. I'm going to be talking about it in my November wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. But I just really did not like this. It started off okay, but I had so many problems going through the rest of the book that I'm going to go into, don't worry. But I just am definitely not interested in keeping this one, even though it is gorgeous. I can't keep it just for that reason. I like to keep books on my shelves that I actually loved and enjoyed or plan to reread. So, you know, just because it's gorgeous, I'm not going to keep it, unfortunately. I'm not really upset about it if it just goes to a little free library. Someone will be happy with this, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's Mistress of Lies, and the last book in this pile is also one that I read in November, so I haven't talked about it anywhere yet, and that is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. This is one that I thought was okay. Liked some aspects of it, but disliked some aspects of it, and overall it was just kind of middle of the road for me, or slightly disappointing, especially because I think I got a preconceived notion in my head of what this would be. I was told that it was going to be more kind of wild and crazy and surreal, I think, and it really wasn't. So I don't know where that came from, or maybe I just totally misinterpreted a review that I saw. Like, I didn't hate it. It was just okay, but I have no interest in rereading it or keeping it, really. But I know a lot of people really do like this, and so I'm just gonna put it in a little free library. I'm sure someone will be very happy with it. So that concludes my unhaul pile. Again, it's quite a bit, but I've been kind of accumulating them for a little bit. A lot of them are from recent reads, which is kind of a bummer, considering that 4 of them are books that I've read either last month or this month. So, you know, that's just kind of an indicator of how my reading has been recently, unfortunately. But I also kind of wanted to talk to you guys about some books that I have hauled recently, and I kind of wanted to show them to you, so let me go grab those. Okay, so I just grabbed the 4 books I want to talk to you about, and they're not in any particular order in terms of my interest or anything like that. It's just the order I grabbed them off the shelf. Okay, so let's start with Bunny by Mona Awad. This is a newer UK edition, so it's got these sprayed edges with the hot pink and the bunnies down the middle. It's actually all the way around as well. But yeah, so I've been wanting to read Bunny for a really long time. I know so many people that love it. I'm in Katie Colson's Discord server for her Patreons, and it's literally the bunnies. And when I saw that they were coming out with this edition, I was really intrigued by it because one of the things about the bunny covers is that some of them feel a little bit too like lighthearted or bright or comic, like not like comical, but like the drawing is comic looking. I don't know if that makes any sense, but what really intrigued me about this edition was that the bunny has this like creepy, spooky eye, as well as just the black and pink is so classic. The bunnies also go onto the inside on the end papers. Also, I think the bunny texture is freaking out my camera, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I've heard just really great things about it. I know it can be a little divisive. Some people really don't like it. I tend to like really weird, surreal stories, so I think that this is gonna work for me, but again, I'm trying to not get my hopes up too much because that has bit me in the ass a few times recently. So yeah, so I'm really excited about Bunny. So the next one is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This is the UK hardback edition, so it's got this gorgeous cover with the couple on it, sprayed edges that are this gorgeous like periwinkle color with the flowers on them. It's very pretty. And it also has this really pretty end paper art. Yeah, the front and the back are the same art, so I was kind of bummed about that, but it's gorgeous art, so it really doesn't matter. And then it's got this beautiful foiled text on the front. I liked the UK cover a lot more than the US cover because the US cover is just like some black and green flowers, I think. I kind of like when things lean really hard into the fantasy and the whimsy, and this is really embodying that to me. So this one is set in the same universe as the Divine Rivals duology, which I really liked the first one but was kind of let down by the second one. I believe this one kind of follows some of the gods, I think. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. I think that Rebecca Ross does romance really, really well. I know that Divine Rivals couple was really solid, and her other duology, The River Enchanted, and A Fire Endless, which is the Elements of Cadence duology, that one is also really beautiful. I really liked that one a lot. So I think that her romances are really great. I'm looking forward to this one very much, and I hope that it delivers just as much on those romance aspects. The next one is also a UK edition, but it's not a special edition, and that is The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovalino. The only reason I got the UK edition for this is because it's only available in paperback in the US, but I really wanted the hardcover of this just because it's so beautiful. I just love this art so much. I think that it's such a striking and beautiful cover. Yeah, the inside is just this, again, lovely burgundy color with the little embellishment. I just really wanted a hardcover of this. I just like the look of a solid hardcover. I don't know what to tell you. So that is Second Death of Locke. Oh wait, I didn't tell you anything about it. All I know about it is that it is a lady knight and a mage who are bonded together or like paired together. She's his protector and his healer. The two of them end up on a quest to protect the child of an enemy kingdom. But yeah, I just was really intrigued by this one because I think it was comped to Gideon the Ninth because of the whole concept of the knight and the mage, which is similar to in Gideon the Ninth, there's the cavalier and the necromancer. So I hope that this, lives up to that comp title. It probably won't live up to it in the comedic aspects of it, but I hope that it does in the pair dynamic with the two of them. The last one is a book that I have read and I loved so much that I really wanted to get an edition of it, but I specifically wanted this special edition of it, and that is Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker. This is the Illumicrate Evernight edition, and I just love this edition so much. A little bit of glossy bats along the back. The front really captured me as well because it's set in New York City, so it's got the subway platform and the sign and of course the ghost. I think that's very, very cool. So, and at first I thought the side was just like ink brush strokes. It kind of looked like that, but well, it is, but it's also bats. The end papers as well have this gorgeous art. And of course, the naked hardcover is just so stunning. Oh, by the way, the reverse of the dust jacket, I think, is the original UK dust jacket, maybe? Yeah, so I really, really love this book. I love this edition. I got it used on Pango, so I found a really good deal, and I grabbed it because I've been eyeing this edition for ages, ever since I read this book. I'm so happy I finally got my hands on it, and I have it displayed in like a place of honor on my shelves. I'm looking forward to rereading it someday and annotating it and just reliving it all over again. So that is the last book that I wanted to show you guys for this little haul. I think the next thing that I want to do in this vlog is go around to little free libraries and drop off the books that I want to unhaul. I want to try to go to some that I haven't been to before, so I'm going to take you with me. We'll go to see some little free libraries and maybe we'll grab some stuff while we're there too, who knows. And I will see you then. Bye. Hey, so it's been a few days. Do you notice anything different? Anything maybe changed? I got my hair dyed and I really like it. I love how it turned out. I was kind of just wanting to do something darker. If you notice in the clips from earlier, obviously before I got this color, I had a lot of like redness on the ends, but then my natural color halfway, and then like half was red-ish, like gingery coppery. That's really, really old red hair dye, and I was getting really fed up with it. So, but yeah, I really like how the color turned out, and it feels nice going into the cooler months of the year with the darker hair color. I don't know. So I'm here with another couple books to unhaul for the unhaul-a-thon, I guess. You'll see about it in my monthly wrap-up for November, but it's been a little bit of a rough month. I've had a bunch of books that have not been working for me and I do not want to keep them, and even if they've been like okay, like 3-star books, I just don't want to hold on to them. I don't ever plan to reread them. So this one is One Bad Night and Other Short Stories. This is a short story collection released by Aardvark, which is one of like the book box companies, like Book of the Month, and I picked this one because it's a Aardvark exclusive short story collection, and I was excited about it because it has a short story by Kylie Lee Baker, which she wrote Bat Eater, and other names for Cora Zhang, which, can you see it? She's right there, see? In her place of honor. But, so I was excited about that short story from Kylie Lee Baker in here, and then I know Stephen Graham Jones, S.A. Barnes, C.J. Lee, like a lot of these are names I've heard before, and I had never read anything by those authors, so I was like, okay, this is kind of a taste test, right? Unfortunately, I really did not like this short story collection at all. I will talk about it at length in my November wrap-up. I'm not going to go into my thoughts on it. There was only one short story in this that I gave above a 3.5, and the rest of them are like 2.5. I will say the one short story in here, I'm not going to say which one it is, I'll talk about that in my November video, so stay tuned for that. But the one short story that I really loved in here, I gave 5 stars, so it was a good one. It was the only good one in my opinion. A lot of people will probably like this more than I did. I just prefer my horror to have a little bit more of supernatural, fantasy, sci-fi, kind of Lovecraftian or supernatural or paranormal element to my horror. I really like when there's like creature horror or something that kind of fucks with your mind. I just really like that kind of horror. I don't really like the ones that are more like grounded in reality, I suppose. So some of these are much more grounded in reality. They take place in modern times, which again is not really my favorite thing with horror. Bat Eater was an exception because there was also that supernatural element. I think that this short story collection would work for people who do like a little bit more of like contemporary horror. The one 5-star in here, I wish I could just like rip it out and just like shove it on my shelf, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to deface this book. So I'm going to unhaul this one. Let me show you the inside, by the way. This is the naked hardcover of it. It has like a very soft, I don't know how to describe it, it's literally soft, but it's got this nice foil. Yeah, I think that all of the short story collection, there's a motif from each on here, so that's kind of neat. I didn't really realize that when I picked this up because obviously I hadn't read them yet. Even though it didn't really resonate, a lot of these short stories did not really hit for me. I'm really glad that I read this though, because that one 5-star, I will definitely not be forgetting that story. And then the other thing that I'm going to be unhauling that I read recently is The Color Purple. I had picked this up, I think I thrifted this copy, so I'm going to be unhauling this simply because I don't think I'm going to reread it, and I also will talk about this in the wrap-up. How many times can I say that in this one video? But I didn't love this, unfortunately. I'm just not really a classics reader. It's not that the writing style was unapproachable or something like that, because that's usually my complaint with me with classics, is I have a hard time getting into the writing style. This one was really approachable, but I'm still glad that I read it though. It is, you know, hard-hitting for what it is, and I just don't think I'm going to reread it again. And since this was something that I thrifted and have, you know, multiple people have read and dog-eared and things like that, I just like the idea of putting it back into the little free library system or something so that someone else can read it and dog-ear it and all that stuff. So anyway, that's gonna be another unhaul. You've probably noticed this in this whole video because it's really ugly, but it's just a bruise. I don't know where it came from. I literally have bruises all over me, mostly my legs. I think I just crashed into stuff. Anyway, I was planning to meet with one of my friends today to go to the craft store and the bookstore, and so maybe I'll get like one book. We'll see. The TBR shelves behind me are getting out of control. But anyway, that's the yappy update for now, and I will see you later with results of this outing. Hi. Hello. Let's get into the last few things I have to show you for this. So the one thing that I got at Barnes & Noble is a new edition of a book that I love, and I did not know this edition was coming out, and that is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone and Amala Motar. I love this story. So this version has this beautiful letter design on the cover, and it has sprayed edges as well. And of course, it's got the signature red and blue. It's got red and blue on black for the end papers, and then red and blue again for the naked hardcover. It's kind of hard to see, but it does have embossed birds in the middle. So I cannot wait to reread this in the future. The next one that I have is a relatively new release, and I saw an Instagram ad where this book box was doing a special edition of it, and I had not heard of this book box before. It is called ゚Links books, and they specialize in romantasy, which is generally not my genre, but I do find that occasionally a queer romantasy can really hit for me. So when I saw this one, which was already on my anticipated releases of the year, and I saw that they were making a beautiful special edition of it, I did go for it. That is As Many Souls as Stars by Natasha Siegel. So this is just a stunning cover. It has the holographic text. It is kind of raised. You can't see that, but it is raised. The back has these birds. I am a sucker for red and black in general. The sprayed edges as well. It has like a different design on the top and the bottom. The naked hardcover just has the ゚Links logo on it, but the end papers, it's a lot going on. There is a lot to look at here, but it is really, really gorgeous. It is such a work of art. And it also gives me big Night Circus vibes just because of the color palette and kind of the, I guess, just the style and the theme of this. It does give me big, like, Night Circus vibes. I don't think it has anything to do with the circus. I don't think it has anything like that. But yeah, so this one is really beautiful. And if you don't know about ゚Links book box and you are a fan of romantasy, maybe check them out. Their books are really beautiful. Not all of them get special remastered covers, I don't think, but in the case of stuff like this, it is really, really excellent. So maybe look into that if you're interested. This is not sponsored, obviously. I paid for this. The last thing I want to show you really quickly is not a book necessarily, but it is book adjacent. And that is a new reading journal because I'm almost done with my current reading journal. It's getting pretty full, and I would like to start the new year with a new reading journal. So this is from Archer and Olive. It has this gorgeous decorative box, which I will be keeping. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to keep it. It has this really beautiful, it is holographic. It's a little harder to see than the last one, but it has this beautiful bat design. The inside has bats as well. You can see the holographic a bit better there. And then the paper is just a dot grid paper. You probably can't see that, but it is, you know, a gray dot grid. I really like dot grid journals for me personally, and I also really like a square journal. So for my current spiral bound one, I usually just do this page, and then I don't do like the back of that page because it'll bleed through, but this paper is thicker, so there shouldn't be any bleeding through. If there is, I'm going to be upset. But in this case, I think I can try doing something horizontal where I can do page 1 and page 2 of the spread all together, or maybe just spread out the elements a bit more and do more decoration, or maybe add more stats or something. I don't know. I'll probably end up doing like a test page just like in the very, very back or something just to see if it does bleed through. I'll probably try all my markers on it and just make sure. But yeah, this is from Archer and Olive. This again is not sponsored, and I just know that they are a very reputable company. People really like their notebooks. This is my first, I think this is my first Archer and Olive notebook. So, and again, this box is really, really pretty. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I am going to keep it. So that's everything I needed to talk to you guys about. So thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me that you're here. If you want to comment something but you don't know what to say, just drop the stack of books emoji for the book unhaul pile. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.